Hello everyone. Yes, so in this video we want to give a shot at installing MATLAB. In the last video I already had a shot, I think, at doing Salome, and this was the video. Okay, to run Manjaro in Docker 5 using Salome in Docker. Yeah, my goodness. To run Salome and run Salome via Docker using Ubuntu in Docker. Okay, so these were the commands you can use to install all the dependencies. If you don't want to go through my 35-minute video debugging library by library what should be installed. Okay, so this is important for Salome. Now let's also have a go at MATLAB. Okay, let's go to the downloads, open up my MATLAB folder, and I guess I can leave it here. Okay, so what do? Okay, so same thing, we can use a we can start running a Docker okay, with net host with environment equals to display, just like we did in the last videos, Ubuntu latest. Okay, and my password, and I'll open another window. This time this window is for me to do the Docker copy. So I want to copy this file into whatever Docker place that I'm in. So let me close this, and then I'll minimize this. Let's go back to our command line, and let's see whether this is running. Yeah, we'll run your fetch on this, and we'll see that we are running our Ubuntu Docker. Alright, so this is what we have. Okay, so ls, we are inside the root directory. Okay, and you can see when in our home we have our Salome, and well, in Salome here we are able to run Salome using this. Okay, with Salome. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's talk about MATLAB and see where we want to install it. So I'm going to make a directory here, MATLAB, and normally the folders in home, normally the folders in home, they are actually for different users. Okay, for example, if you have a username abc123, then your folder here is called abc123. It is not normal for people to put program directories inside the what do you call that, inside these folders. This is kind of a weird way of doing things, but for our intents and purposes, I'm just doing things unconventionally. I just want to install everything into the home directory. Okay, I'm going to make the MATLAB folder, and this is where I want to copy the MATLAB file. So sudo docker copy, and again, if you forget, you can always use the help. Okay, I'm gonna type in my password, and what is it? I need to copy from the source path into the container destination path. So the container destination path is home MATLAB. Okay, so what container do we want? Well, you can do sudo docker ps-a, and this is the container we want. Okay, because it says up 2 minutes. This is the one we recently started, and it's called Jolly Jennings. Okay, you just copy that down. So sudo docker cp, I want this file here, and I want to copy into Jolly Jennings. Okay, there's no autocomplete here, so you can just copy and paste. Ctrl Shift C, Ctrl Shift V. Now put this home MATLAB, and I'll put the file here. Okay, so if we take a look at the home, we go to MATLAB. Okay, we have our zip file here. Okay, well, if you want to unzip it, well, your normal idea would be to use the tar command, right? Okay, but this is a zip file. This is not a tar file, and while the concepts are similar, the file formats are different, so you cannot use that. Okay, so what do? Okay, you can always Google how to unzip files in Ubuntu. Okay, the command is using unzipper. Okay, as you will see very shortly, there is an unzip command. Okay, unzip. Okay, very easy. So let's install the unzip. So apt install unzip will be the command we use. So apt install unzip. Okay, and it will just install unzip very quickly. Okay, it's a very small file, even my computer can do it. So I can just use unzip, and if I'm not sure what to do, just if you're not sure what to do, just type the help command first. What they say, it says unzip, and then you have a lot of options for what you can do. Well, you just unzip the zip file, okay, which is this one. Okay, I'm not going to specify directories. I'm just going to unzip everything here. Okay, so unzip MATLAB blah 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 .zip, and it's going to just unzip everything. Okay, so this one should go pretty quickly, and there you are, all your MATLAB stuff is unzipped. Okay, so that's very important. We got our unzip, and next we need to start running MATLAB install scripts. Okay, so now we have started, we have finished this. The next thing is to try and install MATLAB. Unfortunately, things again don't work out of the box here. In your normal Ubuntu installations, you will just run this install script, and that's enough. So I'll just use install, and normally that will cause you to be able to install MATLAB very easily. Unfortunately, over here you have this exit code 127. Okay, there is some sort of runtime error. Now if you Google this, you'll find that there are again some missing libraries. Okay, MATLAB error 127. Okay, let's see, MATLAB exit code. Well, you know what, just copy the whole error code. You'll find people with similar problems. MATLAB, copy and paste it, unable to launch. So this is what you'll find online. Okay, why was it unable to launch? Okay, here it says, okay, in this particular Linux distribution, this is Red Hat Enterprise. Okay, Red Hat Enterprise, okay, but yeah, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, but you will see that MATLAB is unable to install on this one is Manjaro GNOME. Okay, so what's the answer given here? It says you are actually missing some library like sclinux.so.1. Okay, so this is specifically for Manjaro, but well, why is this happening on Ubuntu? Okay, why is this happening on Ubuntu? So in normal Ubuntu installs, this doesn't usually happen. Okay, the answer is this is because when you pull an Ubuntu image of Docker, it's a very minimal image. Okay, there's no desktop, there's not a lot of software being installed. It's a very clean Ubuntu command line only interface. So you kind of have to install dependencies on your own. Now, last time we tried to install some of these dependencies by looking, well, for Salome, we debugged this by running Salome repeatedly and taking a look at the error messages. Now, this error message is not very helpful for us. However, this actually gives us a clue as to what files are missing. It's called like sclinux.so.1. Okay, but thing is this: what if that is not the only library that's missing? What if there are other libraries missing and we don't know what they are? Okay, so that leads me to scratch my head. After some thinking, the thought process is that, hey, let's take a look at some of the some of the packages that are installed on Ubuntu desktop by default. So if you Google that, you will see this. Okay, you will see this. You can actually just download a file of Ubuntu, and that may or may not work. Okay, it will be very tedious. So the next thing down the line is that, okay, if you don't want to do all this work, what can we do? Okay, the next thing we can do is to think about software. Think about software that has common dependencies with MATLAB. Okay, so MATLAB is a very mathematical software. Okay, MATLAB's a very mathematical piece of software. So what other math or engineering software can we think of to install? Because when we install those software, those pieces of software, all the dependencies will be installed if we installed it via the apt package manager. So what I took an educated guess and I say let's install freecad. Okay, freecad is one of those important things we like to use for OpenFOAM, or just computer aided design in general. Now you can see that the number of libraries here is just mind-boggling. You see, so there's so many dependencies here which you don't really know what to do with them. But there's so many dependencies here that you have to kind of guess. If you just install freecad, they have so many dependencies. Maybe some of them is just what MATLAB needs to run. Okay, so this is it needs about 339 megabytes of archives, and let's just press yes. Okay, so it's going to download and it's going to take a while to install freecad. Okay, so again, the idea of installing freecad here using apt is not really that we want to use freecad. Again, it's because we want to use the dependencies that freecad uses. We want to load these dependencies into Ubuntu Linux, and then we want to see whether, hey, if we take this shot, will this then install all the dependencies we need? Of course, I tested this before, and this is all you needed to do. Okay, so it's going to take a while to install freecad, and I'll just fast forward this bit, and hopefully by the end of everything, we should be able to install and run MATLAB pretty okay. Okay, so I'm going to pause the recording and of course fast forward this bit. Now, one comment just before I continue the fast forwarding process. Now, in the last video, we actually ran a lot of rounds of trying to install and run Salome, and then we kind of took a look at what are the by doing so, we are able to find out all the missing libraries. Now, if I'd known this freecad trick earlier, I would have done so. So one way you can think of using freecad, use this freecad trick, meaning to say use freecad to install all the dependencies you need. Yeah, so instead of installing these dependencies one at a time, you can just install freecad first before installing Salome. That might give you save you some headache. If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to install freecad, you can of course copy and paste all of these libraries or essential packages like build essential, pip, libboost-all-dev, libqwt, blah blah blah, and that will help you with Salome. Unfortunately, it will not help you with MATLAB, so I'm just taking a very big roundabout way of doing things. But if it's we are going to use freecad anyway for the most part. Okay, of course we can use freecad elsewhere, but yeah, I can just install it here. It should install most, if not all, of the dependencies that we need, and we might use freecad here anyhow, so who knows. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to again fast forward. And we are finally done. Yeah, let's just take a look a little bit at what we... Okay, never mind. I'm not going to look at the files. I'm just gonna say this. Now we are able to definitely install MATLAB. Of course, we have actually installed lots of other files as well, but that's besides the point. Okay, so let's install MATLAB proper. Okay, very simply, just engage the install script, and it should run well. Okay, and we'll have to wait a little bit. Okay, and there you go, MATLAB R2021A. Now I'm just going to spend some time actually keying in what I need to key in. I'm not I need to key in some details and all, do some setup, and I'll just skip the bits. Okay, there are some bits I need to skip. Okay, so I'll just skip the bits about entering the license number and everything. And just take note over here, this is where you will be installing your MATLAB binaries. Okay, your MATLAB binaries will be located under user local MATLAB R2021A. You should see a binary folder there, and that's where you can access your MATLAB. So just remember, this is where you usually will install MATLAB. Of course, you can search another destination folder. You can browse and you do elsewhere. Okay, so you look at your file system, you can actually install it under home, under MATLAB. It's really up to you, but I'm just going to leave it as the default. Okay, restore default. Then I'm just going to select some products. Now for my case, I like to use MATLAB specifically for control system design. So control system design, what do you usually need? Okay, Simulink a good option. Simulink is good, but maybe I'm going to install that later. I like to just do system identification, symbolic math. Okay, symbolic math is good for just your algebra in general. There's a signal processing, if I'm not wrong. Okay, signal processing toolbox. There's a control system toolbox as well. I think more or less these four things. I probably can't remember everything. I guess just for fun, curve fitting. Okay, but yeah, I will let you know what toolboxes I install, but it's really up to you. Just select what you need, and you just do everything as per normal. You can create symbolic links to MATLAB scripts here, but I'd rather not do that. And yeah, there you go. Okay, so make sure the user you enter for this case is root. Okay, your user for this case will be root, because you are running most of your processes as root. So make sure when you install MATLAB, always just make sure it is under root. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so after this is done, okay, I'm going to fast forward this bit because it's just going to download MATLAB and install as per normal into your Ubuntu system within Docker. And yeah, things should be running as normal. As per normal, you can go and commit the Docker image later. Okay, but yeah, it's just stuff we need to do. Okay, after that, do make sure to go and find your MATLAB binaries within user local MATLAB R2021A. Okay. Now, of course, if your MATLAB versions are more updated, and I'm pretty sure this video is going to be out of date pretty soon, you just change the MATLAB versions as per what you need. Okay, so and voila, installation is complete. We can just close this and we can actually start looking at our home directory. Now we'll be back in our home directory. If we go to Docker, if you type MATLAB, nothing's going to happen because the command's not found. So the reason why I make sure you should know where your MATLAB's installed is because that's where the binaries are, the MATLAB binaries are, and you can just run your code there. Now if you switch to your MATLAB home folder, this is where you end up. User local MATLAB R2021A or whatever version you're installing. Go to bin, and here is where you will find your MATLAB. Okay, so if we just type MATLAB, we will be able to run MATLAB very nicely and smoothly in Docker. Now of course it will be kind of inconvenient. Okay, it will be very inconvenient in fact for MATLAB for us to keep switching to this folder in order to find this MATLAB binary. Okay, and of course as you can see MATLAB is now running in the background. Okay, well, it's now running, it's starting up, so let's give it some time because this system is on a hard disk drive, not a solid state drive SSD, so things are a little bit slower, and it's not the highest highest spec of computers, but you know, these things they work, they take time. Okay, so yeah, MATLAB will open up, and yeah, it will take a while, and here we are in MATLAB. It's window. I'm using the academic license because I'm still in, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so the only thing is that it says here you're currently running MATLAB as root. Okay, best practice is to run MATLAB only as root with elevated privileges when they're specified. Okay, so you can test a little bit of MATLAB out. I'm going to change my preferences to change it from Emacs shortcut. Okay, if you are familiar with this, let's see, keyboard. Yeah, I do not like using the Emacs shortcuts. I prefer using Windows default set rather than Emacs default set, so that your Control C and Control V will actually be copy and paste. Okay, so that's my preference. I'll just apply this, wait for it to work its way around, and apply and OK. So if we just type ls in MATLAB, we can actually see where we are, and we can actually change directory to home. These few commands ls and cd, you can still run it in MATLAB, and it will just change the directories accordingly. It is the same. You can even make directory here, but I personally prefer to do it inside the command line terminal. If we do sims x, we can activate a symbolic. We can declare x as a symbolic variable. Let's have some differentiation. I don't know whether differentiation works. A equals to x squared plus 2x plus 1. Oh, yes. I've totally forgot the 2 times x. So let's do diff of a. Okay, if you do a differentiation of a, we get 2x plus 2. Okay, long story short, MATLAB is working. Okay, so we just did this, we defined a, and then we just did a differentiation of it. We can save our scripts, we can do our scripts, do whatever. Okay, MATLAB is running. I can clear this, I can CLC, I can exit. Okay, and that's how you can run MATLAB in Manjaro. Now before I go off, it will be kind of nasty of me not to show you how to make life easier for yourself. Okay, so I will just do one last trick before going, and that is making aliases. Okay, so remember where your MATLAB commands are. The MATLAB file is run. You have to find it in user local MATLAB R2021A bin. So if you type this out, okay, type this out, and we put MATLAB, and then you want to run it in the background, you can use the N sign, N key. Okay. This is what? MATLAB user local. Oh, okay. I totally typed that wrongly. User local. Okay, so see, now MATLAB will run. Okay, so this is the command you need to remember. Okay, user local blah blah blah, and then we run MATLAB accordingly. Okay, this, yeah, if we type this command out, we will be able to run MATLAB. And what I can do, I can just copy this. Okay, let me clear. Let's vim bash rc, and let's declare an alias by going down here. So here's where we do the open form. This is for making life easier when running MATLAB. So you can just say alias MATLAB 2021a equals, okay, this whole command here, because we are very specific of I just prefer to be very specific of the versions here. So I just run MATLAB 2021a, save and quit, and I source the bash rc file to make sure that all the code in there is run, so that I can have my alias of MATLAB. So let's do MATLAB 2021a. Now there's a tab completion. If you just right tab, and then we'll just run it in the background. Okay, it will run that whole command in the background, and you will be able to start MATLAB. Okay, so that's the long story short. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the long story short. We have successfully run MATLAB, albeit, you know, if you don't mind running it as root. Yeah, we have run it inside Docker. Okay, so that is all I have for you. Okay, wish you the best. I'll see you next time. Okay, of course, same thing as normal. Once you close it, make sure to commit your Docker images. Or maybe I'll show you that part too. But if you want to skip it, just end the video now. All right. So okay, never mind. You know what? I'm not going to show you that part. I'm just going to call it a day and finish this video. All right. So I'll see you next time. Remember to commit your Docker images, as you have seen in the last few videos. I don't want to keep repeating myself on this point. Okay. See you.